separate my own brand.
Blackmagic Audio, that'll do it. Hey, check, check. I think we're live.
Maybe you want to just go live, or you want me to get on there too?
I don't know. I've never done this.
We're gonna give folks a little bit of time to filter in and join us, but otherwise, welcome to the live stream.
Welcome. Hello.
This is the exciting debut of a couple tunes. Well, they're not new. You can go listen to them online, but we got some songs from Smilebro and APROCKS that are on Spotify and everywhere, and are really dope tunes. So we're excited to talk about them today and give things a little listen through.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit to get settled, and but yeah. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, if anyone has any questions at any point, I think you can drop those in the live chat, and we can get to them too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Drop all questions in the chat, and we'll try and get to them. I think we've got to figure out our mic levels a little bit, so we're gonna need to do some adjusting. I'm gonna go quiet on our live stream just for a second here.
I don't think this is to be helpful.
All right. I think we're back at a level that might be more comfortable.
Join on
I
YouTube.
apologize if there was a bit of a jump in the volume for you.
I think we're good now. Sounds great in my ears.
Yeah. Cool. Whole gang together.
One more selfie.
I was not in that.
Wow, Jared.
I'm
Smilebro.
No,
I'm so
just-
sorry.
All right.
All right, here we go.
I'm gonna get
That's good. That's good.
hiding behind the mic over here. Cool. Well, we're going all things here. Stuff's looking good. How's our stream quality? Let me know if you guys have any input on volume or if things are working well on your end. If stuff's clean, looks like we got adequate internet and such. But we're out here in the backyard, chilling. Beautiful day.
It is gorgeous.
Just enjoying life. We had some food, and now we're gonna listen to some music.
And I'm gonna try this Monster alcohol.
Yeah, why don't you give people the down low on a sample of that?
Like what this tastes like?
Just started off with.
Well, in my opinion, this sort of tastes closer to the zero sugar, but Jared thinks that there is a lot of sugar.
I just said that there is sugar.
There
for
is
sure.
sugar.
I feel it in my teeth. It's like when there's a tornado, some people can feel it in their joints. I can feel the sugar in my teeth with this Monster.
I see. It's got a natural sugar sense.
Were you guys Monster kids growing up? You guys like, is that the gold liquid, the stuff of?
I was a rock star kid, but not by like choice. I think it was just cheaper or something. I don't know if it
little bit.
was. It's just I don't know why I kept going to the thing that I didn't like.
It's more appealing. I think, well, it's weird. I didn't really have any energy drinks until, I don't know, I'd say like 4 years ago.
No way.
Yeah, it was like just Mountain Dew. So,
Wow.
but then I've tried a lot. I feel like Monster is one of my favorites.
My mom used to give me 5-hour energies in high school.
This one turned off, I think.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I just turned it back on. I don't know if that was hopefully not the wrong thing.
You know what happened.
Okay. It's back up now.
Oh, I should make sure that Instagram posts 'cause it says it's not yet.
All right. Let me know if there's maybe I'll just join the YouTube so I can see if there's any comments.
Yeah, I'll try and keep an eye out. But I'll let you guys know if anything comes up.
How many people we got in there? Like 100, dude?
I think 105. No, I can't
Whoa.
even tell where it says, if anyone.
I don't know. I'm not concerned about that.
No.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
It's like that.
Ooh.
There's a lady that drives through our neighborhood like every day and will like play Adele and just scream, sing along to it.
That's
Dang.
great.
Every time it happens, it feels like I'm in a sitcom. It's crazy. And then other times she'll drive by in some complete silence. There's like no in between. She's never just casually listening to music. She's either belting all out or not listening to anything. It says on the live stream starting soon that I commented. Oh, never mind.
I did that a while back, though.
Yeah.
We're started now. People can tell that.
Started now.
Let me tell ya. We are ripping and roaring.
I like it because I like the taste of Monster, but I don't always want like a bunch of energy.
Caffeine, taurine rush.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
it's gonna make us feel weird. I feel like
Maybe, yeah.
6%, and it's a big can.
Yeah. This is an absurdly large Monster. I was in Texas and they had like the white version and they had like packs.
Oh, I've seen the multi flavors,
Yeah.
but never tried. It's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it all the time. This is my first time drinking in a very long time.
Cheers to that.
What's up, everybody? This is not the No Play podcast, but it's kind of a similar vibe. I am Smilebro.
And I'm AP Rocks.
And I'm Cndrm.
Welcome. We're here to celebrate. We put hours and years and so much time into this album, and it would not do it justice to just throw it into the world and then be like, well, I guess now it's done, on to the next thing. So we wanted to have a day where we just like had a good time, celebrated the time we put into it, reflect on what it took to make it, and all the good memories, and answer any questions, and yeah, just have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, just like thinking back, it was when we had this idea of doing this, it was like, yeah, it sounds fun. And I thought, really we've been working on this for not quite 3 years, but like 2.5 years. We've been writing some of these tunes. Maybe almost 3.
Yeah, almost 3 years.
It was like late 2021, I think.
Probably 3 years, because
yeah.
Gardner we wrote in like the fall of whenever we were at the place.
That might have even been the spot before that, when we were outside.
Oh.
So maybe...
Yeah, so 3 or 4 years roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many different sessions of like writing it. We performed all these songs like in super different versions all throughout all those years, and like it started with your graduation. We were like stoked to get that started, and then we did the Snow Play, the first show, and then the second one. So if you heard those songs at live shows, you probably heard a little bit different versions to what actually came out. But
that's one thing that I thought was really cool about it. This project is that it highlighted so many songs that, for people who've been close to it, have come up over the years and made people feel things. I mean, those shows, the What's Up Lounge were big, and I know even some of the backyard bashes where we did things were cool, and so I think people already have some nice memories with those. I know I do.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the Outside of Myself song. You heard a recorded version of it, and you're like, if you ruin that song, I will be very mad. That is my favorite song, and this is not what it should be like.
Well, I was singing along to a couple of them today, just preparing for this, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm glad to have these songs out now that I can sing along to them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you heard Outside of Myself, it was like...
Rough shape.
It was a rough shape. We had like some cheesy lines on your...
Oh, that
on the
JDXI.
JDXI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like weird like stock rave sounds.
Why don't we listen to it?
Awful vocals. I don't
We
know.
can start there.
I don't think I have an exported version of that, but I can
Are you
look.
kidding? What are we doing here, dude? Do you need me to pull up Spotify?
No. I'm
It's
talking
out
about
there now.
No, I'm talking about the earlier version.
Okay.
To like, because I don't think I exported it. I was like, this is not worth hearing outside of the DAW.
Yeah, I really connected with there's a couple lyrical pieces that I really connected with from this album. I wrote them down so we can get into that later, but all in good time.
I'm popping open Ableton right now to see if I can play the project
Love it.
file.
This will be fun.
Great.
It's gonna be like midnight and we're gonna get it going again.
Almost, or like at least half the songs on this album we recorded in one version or one vibe, and just felt like we were smashing our head through a brick wall to like get it to finish in that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to find inspiration and like bring new life to it, and then it evolved into something else. So you hear some of them sound like they were played with guitars and cajones and like recorded all in the same vocally, and then the ones that weren't that have like a lot of abstract production and like maybe a little more produced, those were the ones that we had to reimagine.
Mm-hmm.
Like Hello Galactic was like probably the most true to
Raw.
what it originally started as.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And backwards probably.
Yeah, that's pretty close too.
Look,
Yeah.
this whole album went through like a huge range of sounds and even recording styles, from like more intense producer kind of electronic music to like a room microphone with a cajon and some guitar riffing. And so I felt like instead of feeling like that was it created balance in it in a way. It was interesting. It created a balance I wasn't expecting. Because I think sometimes between those things there can be a lot of distance. They can be really like far away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But something about your production style and the way it came together felt really, really clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I was worried about. Like when we pulled some of the tracks into these crazy directions, like, oh my gosh, what was the one that with like all the Sophie like deep? Selling My Diary.
Selling My Diary.
Yeah. Gosh,
The end of Selling My Diary is crazy.
Yeah, like it is so different from the beginning, and Jared was like, we got to pull it into this just
I was like,
crazy world.
No, I remember exactly how that started. I was like, all right, I have an awful idea. And then I just started putting 808s and polyrhythms. And then we were like, each one, we were like trying to make it more complicated. So like, it would be so impossible to like pump your fist to like when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was like a math problem on the last.
I thought that we keep glancing across some of the songs, but I've got things to talk about with all of them. That one to me felt maybe like a solid intro to some of your Smilebro music. It was like kind of threw you all over the place and left you a little unsure. And it's cool to have it happen like early on in the album too, because in listening to it, you get there, it throws you for a loop, and then you've got the remaining handful of songs to return to baseline.
Yeah, it did this concept that I've thought about or like tried to do where you bring people in with this normal pop production and you're like, come on in, like have a good time. And then the further they stay in the song, the more you like pull them into a weird corner of music. So you like kind of trick them into like trying to like test out something they might have not sought out for themselves, which I think is really fun.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
sometimes I could understand it misses. This might actually play here.
Yeah, what can you show us?
Oh, I have to.
Change your output probably settings.
Oh, it's just really low, I think. Understand it misses. This might actually play here.
Yeah, what can you show us?
Oh, because you have the.
Ooh, I might have been. You might be able to hear the like whole live stream up to this point. Whoops.
No, because you didn't have this turned up earlier,
Yeah, that's true.
so it should be okay.
That's funny.
This isn't awful, but
I think this was like a midpoint when we started bringing it into the.
I think the vocals, it's not that bad. Kind
this is one of those versions where I don't think we knew where we wanted the drums to be.
Yeah.
Because it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Really trying the half times, double times.
Oh, dang.
The main line on this one is one that I connected with as like a really strong line. Outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I don't know what, like, it didn't even make me think of anything specific, but it was a line that I wanted to hear people like singing along to, and like.
What's really fun is
big.
the line before it. What's our inside? Things got too much bigger. That one we can talk about later. What that line means, but things I can't.
Things I can't
Figure, yeah. So like it ends on with things I can't figure, and then it goes into outside of myself. And then at the end of the song, it's the first time that you say it's things that I can't figure out.
Like it ends with the out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
But that was just like this little writing thing that we figured out, where we're like, what if it transitions into the next part for all of them, except for the end, it has the resolution of with things I can't figure out. But it's little.
How did the two of you approach writing together, and just in general, with this being an example?
Like just like this project, or like this?
Yeah, this
specific song?
project, and maybe even this song specifically, if that was a good example of it.
I feel like when I, tell people how me and Jared produce, it's like Jared is definitely the one on the sticks. Like he's sitting on the Ableton, and I'm just more like, oh, I have this like cool idea we could try to put in there, and like I don't know. How would you say like our collaborative processes?
I posted a video of us making Hello Galactic, and I think it like opened my eyes to like what we look like when we write together. Because I'll like with that one, I was like figuring out like core elements, and then you'd figure out these like the best word to fill in there that like completed the whole thing. There was like maybe a little something I would have never thought of. And production wise, I'm very like the meat and potatoes kind of thing, like the structure, and then like some of the weird normal things. But then when you go in, you'll make a melody that only happens once, or like little dropout like stuff and things that I could never do. So we like dance together so nicely because it's things that I am so bad at. But it's the same with words too. Like writing words, if you watch that Hello Galactic, like us figuring out the next chunk isn't a straight line process, and it's not one of us just being like, don't worry, I'll write the song, you just hop in and play the bass or whatever.
Yeah, right.
It's like very much both of us being like, oh yeah. It's like very fun process.
Yeah. I feel like every song looks a little different too. It all depends, what the end goal is with how we want to sound. Whatnot.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we record it, like the sweaty session we had. Like we recorded, 5-6 songs, but then we later took them down way different roads. So
Well,
probably for the better.
You contribute a lot of different instruments at different times too, like everything from cajon to vocals to like key riffs and guitar noodling and all kinds of fun stuff that we'll get to hear.
You're right, yeah. Like I think of, what it looks like to perform some of these songs, and like some of them are impossible with just the two of us.
Yeah.
Because there's like songs where I'm doing the bass and the cajon.
Yeah.
And they're at the same time. I mean, maybe it's possible.
A big part of it was like, you were saying that like, you're like, I like playing the drums, but I don't want to be the drummer anymore. And I was like, what do you want to do? And then you're like, let's try this and let's try this. And you have this like absurd talent to grab any instrument and find a pocket in the most beautiful way. Like I can't express how great it's been to like work with you in that way, and how much appreciation I have for you and your talents. Because I'm so not that. If you listen to Hello Galactic, this is another thing. Your timing is perfect, and mine is like swinging between bumping into the sides of the wall. So Hello Galactic, you'll hear Andrew just with like the straightest cajon beat, but very complicated. Like there's like polyrhythms and like, I don't know if there is polyrhythms. Sorry. I don't know. I'm so illiterate when it comes to like timing and what key we're in and what notes we're playing. But Andrew, I'm like, Andrew, what did I do? And then Andrew will be like, oh, it's like this key and like you were playing like a triplet dotted something or other. But it's cool because I get to bump into the walls that he sets up for me with that chord structure. Like I get to ping pong and have fun in between the swing and stuff of how good you are with the rhythm, and you can match my timing. Like when we did that live thing over in that thing, I couldn't imagine doing that with anyone else because my time, like I'm not a trained musician, and you'll just be like, all right, here, and then sometimes I would like do something that I didn't do before, and you'd be like, all right, we're over here. It's sorry, I'm just floating your boat, but.
I appreciate it. It's very kind words. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely times where I don't know how I catch some of those differences, like with one of the unreleased songs, not on this album that we performed. Like there's
Which one?
It was the last one we did. I'm blanking on the name, but it has like the guitar part where the timing is like different.
Yeah. Was it Make You Mine or was it? Can I make?
No,
you
it
mine?
was before Make You Mine. The song before Make You Mine.
What's that?
I should know. I feel like we played it.
Well, I should know for sure.
Because Make You Mine was the last song. I think.
Yeah.
So.
It was Sell My Ego.
Yeah. Yep. Like the kind of not bridge, but
yeah,
transitional parts.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Very syncopated and rhythmic.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a lot of fun just bouncing off each other's energy and finding where we can improve each other, I should say.
Yeah. Cool. Let's listen to the first song. I feel like
let's get
a little
started.
More structured.
Yeah, we're lost already. Yeah,
we're having a great time though. Thank you for anyone who's in the live stream right now for hanging out. It'll be a little bit all over the place.
What's up, Emmanuel?
What's up, E-Man?
Yeah, we will be a little all over probably, but feel free to drop some questions, say hi, share it with a friend. We'll be listening to all the tunes, the tunes.
And we can listen to like earlier versions if you guys want, or just feel free to like ask for anything, and we'll maybe say no sometimes because we have boundaries, but otherwise we might not. All right, let's listen. This is the first song, Hello Galactic Conversation.
I've got dust in the corner of my mind. We're playing hide and seek, but we're both hiding. Lay awake in the summer by a tree. When you look at the stars, do you see me? Hiding in the constellations, contemplating everything. This is a galactic conversation for an eternity. Unless you just say hello, hello, hello. Spider webs in the rafters where we hide. Heart-shaped box in the attic, what's inside? Lay awake in the summer on the beach. look at the stars, do you see me? Hiding in the constellations, contemplating everything. This is a galactic conversation for an eternity. Unless you just say hello, 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 hello.
Wow. That one's so good.
That's beautiful.
That is a good one.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
That was a good example of you having the structure and me just bouncing around with those chords. Oh, what's fun about that song is the tuning was something, it was on your grandpa's guitar, and you tuned it by ear to some random open tuning. And then I picked up your guitar and I was like, And then I just found like different spots that it sounded good. And we wrote the whole song based on this tuning that you did to your ear that I've never seen those notes in a sequence on a guitar before.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you right now what
I
what it
could
was tuned
probably
to,
look it up, but
yeah, I think you wrote it down.
yeah.
So I tried to find it on my phone one time, and but yeah,
Yeah, that was so cool. And then it sounds like so natural, but then we did the like flanging and like crazy stuff to like make it spin around to sound like it was in like another galaxy kind of thing.
like out in space. Where you did a lot of panning tricks on that, where like panning just like really opens up. And
Yeah, I
it
really
sounds like
noticed
goes in the
it when we
distance.
listened to it this time. It was just like woo, but it took so long to nail that because there was we did it earlier where it was like too much and like, but we spent so long just trying to get it like a perfect taste of getting crazy without losing that rawness.
For sure.
The tuning of that guitar is C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and it was missing one string.
Yeah, that's right.
So
The high E, bro.
So if you ever want to play that one, just take off your high E and tune it to that. Or just tune your high E to C sharp also.
Yeah, that would work.
But
Or find something else that works. I don't know.
yeah, that one's so fun.
That was another song that I had written down the line from. Hiding in the constellations, contemplating everything. That, like, kind of struck through me. Do you have any, is there meaning behind that? Or is there inspiration for a line like that?
I think the whole song had a vibe of like wanting to talk to somebody but feeling like they were on another planet. And it was like you staying awake at night just being like thinking about everything you could have said better or like how your interactions could have gone better and how you want to interact with them but you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is a galactic conversation of us just like looking at the stars on other sides of the world. Unless you like say hello to me or like, because there's nothing I can do anymore. Like I tried too hard or something.
Yeah, included the line, yeah, when you look at the stars, do you see me? So really, like, are you thinking of me when you look at the stars?
Yeah. The first line, I've got dust in the corner of my mind, came from the poetry session with Abby Grum and Kennard. That line came from one of those sessions where we met up with some friends and one person would give a prompt and then we would just write everything that came to mind for like 30 seconds or a minute or 5 minutes. And that was, I don't remember what the prompt was, but that was one of the lines that I got from one of those little fun poetry exercises that we did.
That's cool. Yeah.
And then I referenced this song in my song, Counting Sheep. So this song says, the rafters part.
Spiderwebs
in the rafters where we hide. And then Counting Sheep says, like falling from the rafters or something like that. And then it's like it's like feels like the next episode of this song, where it's like, what is this? When I'm counting sheep, you're all I see. So it's like a very similar vibe, but like kind of a different take on it.
We've got a shout out for selling my diary and Hello Galactic Conversations from Anna.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So glad you enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are fun ones. I don't want to ruin Hello Galactic for anyone or a part of it, but there's one part of it that we really spent too much time on that's hilarious, and I think you know what it is.
Was it like? Are you talking about the earlier versions where?
No, it's in the current version.
Oh.
No, then you can't spill it
Okay. All right.
Okay.
for a future
why.
expose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's funny.
But yeah, we won't go further into that because whatever.
All right, what's next on the?
Oh, also Hello Galactic, we made a remix of that is also beautiful. Maybe we'll play that at the end. But yeah, that was so much fun to make.
That'd be a cool way to go out today.
Yeah.
That.
All right, we have Selling My Diary. That was the second song that Anna was stoked on, so we'll jump into it.
Perfect.
I'm selling my own diary. Come and read for free. If you come, don't patronize me. Let me be. I'll tell you all my secrets. I'll tell you all my lies. I'll tell you all the things I've said in between my eyes. You can read my mind anytime, yeah. And I'll tell you I'm fine, that I'm fine now. You can read my eyes and my mind anytime, yeah. And I'll tell you I'm fine, that I'm fine now. 3, 2, 1. I'm not what I thought, and I'm not what I've done. I'm not who you want to be with, just for fun. You can say I'm broken, you can say I'm sad, but you can't steal the memories. They weren't that bad. You can read my mind anytime now. And I'll tell you I'm fine, that I'm fine now. You can read my mind anytime, yeah. And I'll tell you I'm fine, that I'm fine now. All the things we used to do, yeah, I got lost on you. All the things we used to do, yeah, I got lost on you.
Wow.
Oh,
Such a
that's
cool-
so tasty.
I always want to. So the outro is actually that little like weird violin thing that's the outro, like says one more time, was actually a part of this project, and it was right at the end. So whenever I feel the end, I think that's coming, where it's like one more time, one more time.
I like that.
Well, I think that violin part actually came because this song used to be in a major key.
Yeah.
It used to be like, this was a totally
Yeah, I was
different vibe.
just, while we were listening to it, I was like, oh my God, this was like, had an entirely different vocal melody.
What do you remember from the early version?
It was like, boom, 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 boom.
I think this one was JDXI heavy.
Yeah, this one was very. We used that JDXI a lot, so there's a lot of like cheesy, just kind of like ideas we were trying to come up with.
And we were stoked on it when we first did it. But I think there was some good potential, which we just weren't excited about it when we pulled it up like 6 months later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this vocal melody. This is so fun to sing. Yeah, and then we took it into that like pop. This is the one with the pop vibe. Yeah. One cool thing that I don't know if anyone will care about, but that end part with the 808 where it sounds like my voice is like clipping. I took a production class with Virtual Riot, and that effect that you hear on Billie Eilish's voice that sounds like her voice is distorting to the 808, that might have actually just been her being distorted by the 808, but he showed me how to do it so you don't have to clip. So how that works at the end of this song is that there's a kilohertz ring mod that's side chained kilohertz ring mod on my vocal that's side chained to the 808, and then the 808 distorts my voice in the same way that it would be clipping. So
That's neat.
there you go.
All you Ableton nerds out there,
Yeah, you learned on one.
whatever, daw.
I don't know how this is gonna sound, but here we go.
Yep. Yes, here it is. Turn it up.
It's not that bad, but it's not.
It's just so different.
Yeah.
Why don't you pass me another one of those tricks?
You need it after listening.
It's kind of pretty. Oh, this might get brutal right here. No, not that bad.
That's why you give them time to develop, you know, you gotta see what it can become.
I remember. Oh, I forgot about that.
That's funny.
Like I remember from here to the end, we really liked this
Yeah.
part of it. Well,
Like
some fireworks.
fireworks, yeah.
I still like that sound.
What was that? Was that my voice?
That was JDXI, I think.
No, the.
Oh, I don't know. That's so cool. This actually isn't as bad as I remember.
Sounds like fresh out of a RuneScape church.
That is that vibe.
But then this is the violin. In our outro, I think, is where we started to develop that.
I don't know if it's in this version.
Yeah,
it
it
might
not
be.
be. I don't know. But then that's where we took that and then we like found the relative minor and brought it into like a totally different.
That instrumental section in the song that it is now, that was such a chop up of like both of us just like doing the most of our production screwery.
Yeah.
Just for fun. You can say I'm broken. You can say I'm sad. You can't steal the memories. They weren't that bad. You can read my mind.
Oh, we started doing that thing.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
I'll tell you.
Okay, this,
Wow.
yeah, so this was kind of,
Yeah.
This part of the final one, I just love, like, it's got such a cool rhythmic change-up vibe. Like, I'd love the part of the show that would be in a concert.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess, yeah, we're already playing with the
you hear
rhythms.
that? Yeah, doom, doom, yeah. So it has elements of and clipping. Yeah, this might be the same vocal. The rest, I think, are the same.
All the things we used to do, I got lost on you.
I don't know why we didn't leave that in. Did we? I don't know. That was cool.
I'm getting blown out by the sun over here. That's nice.
We'll
shift it all?
we'll just tell it to turn off.
It's got me washed out, but it's all right. It is a beautiful day. Nicholas, shout out. It is beautiful. We just couldn't go down to the basement after having this.
How
as an
nice it is
option.
out here.
Yeah, had to move some stuff out.
It is nice. I agree.
Yo, Nick, also, me and Willis are probably down to go see Mad Max later tonight. Yeah, let's keep moving.
Cool.
showing
Any
are
other
you going
thoughts
to?
on Selling My Diary?
Oh, what did I have written for that one? That one was one that made me like. I think might have been a highlight from the album. Like, really thinking back on it, it just was fresh. It was fun. I really like it as an intro to your project as well. Like, I think something about the line "Selling My Own Diary" it kind of speaks to some of your artist journey, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you want to talk to that at all, or?
Yeah, I think that's kind of why we wrote it. Because I just felt like the one thing I haven't really struggled with is like getting overly personal, for better or for worse. So like a lot of these songs really do feel like I'm selling my diary for free. Because like, I don't know, like you don't really have to pay much to like hear my deepest secrets or anything at all, really. Like you could go on YouTube and listen to them for free.
You could be tuned into this live stream right now
Yeah.
for free.
free.
Share
Yeah,
with
so
a
it's
friend.
just kind of that feeling, like, but also also the aspect that like even though you might listen to all my music, you might not know me. You might know part of me and part of my experiences, but you probably don't know. Just from those, it doesn't give you enough context to know who I am, because even my like thoughts on those things changes over time. Like if you listen to my first EP, Chameleon Sheep, I was like very bitter towards the word love and like was struggling with certain things, which I think I've outgrown in a lot of ways. So, yeah, it was just kind of diving into that feeling.
Do you worry about someone seeing what you put out on social media or your music and getting the wrong idea about like who you are?
I don't think so. I think, well, I don't know. We don't need to go too deep into this, but I made YouTube videos when I was like 12, and it was like kind of like a knockoff of Jackass and like iCarly vibes. Like I made a website called iStupid, and then I got like bullied off the internet by like middle schoolers and like sixth graders. So I didn't post anything on the internet until I posted my first song, basically. So I think I waited long enough to have things that I felt confident enough to share without regret. And now I'm just, that's kind of the whole thing. I'm sure there's versions of that I could not be stoked about, where people are like, oh, you cry all the time, or something like that. Which is, I don't know, to dive into that, like, I write the one word that I want to stop using in my songs is cry, but you actually said, you are a beautiful human. We'll have conversations and I'll realize things about myself just by like saying like, oh, I wish I didn't sing cry as much. And then you said like, maybe it's because you want to cry, but you haven't been able to. So you're like expressing it in another way to get that like catharsis. And I was like, I think that might be true. And that was beautiful. So that helped me. Just like this whole album, it's been a lot of that. diving into thoughts and feelings for both of us
Yeah.
that we might not be able to like figure out on our own or just in general, and to talk about the struggle of figuring it out, and or actually coming to the realization of what we truly feel by the end of making the song.
Yeah. I think like songwriting or even just writing in general is like one of the most raw ways to understand things, get feelings out. And so I'm happy we're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for coming over. Like, you definitely don't know because we didn't post about it or talk about it, but Andrew came over for every week for about 6 months, like a day a week. And we spent probably like 5 to 12 hours every time working on this album. So it does mean a lot to us, and we put so much into it. It's not just like we threw these together with like no effort or like no intention. Like there was so much attention to the detail, and above all, it was just a great time. Like we had a really good time just hanging out and making these songs.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
that's why we're here to celebrate.
Woo.
That's really cool to hear. Are there any memorable stories from that process, like being in the weeds on that? Just maybe one of the even not so perfect moments where it was like kind of felt like you were banging your head against a wall. Because I think these things are difficult. It's easy to think that they come out of the DAW sounding like gold.
Yeah.
I always think of like just the first writing session of this album where we just picked a random day. I feel like it was probably like late June, early July, where we were recording out in my shack. We call it the shack in my backyard at my the place I was at before I'm living now. And it was just like, it was so hot that day. And like it had windows that you couldn't open, so it was basically greenhousing. So we're like in here in that shack trying to write this album.
Yeah.
Just like literally dripping with sweat and like trying to get these ideas, recorded as fast as possible. And like, in the moment it definitely wasn't ideal, but like, looking back, that was like probably one of my favorite memories from writing this whole thing. And I feel like you agree too, because the album cover, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the album cover is like, this is the most ambitious I've ever been with an album cover. I don't know if you notice, but the album cover has all of the singles from this album in it. And that was so hard to do. But also the grander picture. So what you're looking at is like us trying to recreate that shack that we were in from memory. Like it was trying to capture the vibe of the shack that we like recorded and wrote some of these songs in. But like kind of like if you were to like remember it in a dream, because it's not entirely accurate. It just has the elements of what was in the shack, and also like exemplifies like what we talked about and like the instruments that we used. So yeah, the album cover itself and single covers took so long, but I'm so glad like that itself feels like an art piece also that really shows off like the experience that we had too in a cool way.
For folks tuned in on the video version, I've got it up on the screen here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm trying to think of how I could show you what the shack actually looked like, but I don't know if we have a picture like that.
I probably have some on my phone, but maybe our next listening session I can dig for.
Are there any, speak to just one of the elements maybe in the album cover? Like I know that there's a lot of subtle meaning and context for this, but like just what's one moment that each of you kind of see and recognize that maybe someone looking at it for the first time wouldn't be able to catch?
So we
I'll let you
have
go first, and then I'll
we
go
have so we used to live in this like super janky place. I don't know how to describe it without like getting into like weird territory, because I don't know. We don't need to go further than that. But we got a piano when we lived there, and it's tuned a half step down. It's like auto-tuned just from time and wear and tear that we like lugged in there. Andrew has it in his house now. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that piano is so special to us. Like everybody that lived in that one place that I was talking about, and we had it in the shack there.
Yep.
And me and Andrew got to play around on that just to like vent. He's a lot better than me. Just a wizard on the keys. But yeah, that made an appearance on the album. At least maybe just one.
For
Two?
sure twice.
Okay.
'Cause we threw in that interlude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
trying to think.
that piano is so beautiful.
I heard a lot about this piano over the process of like life in general. Jared being like, is it okay to just transpose everything up and down a couple steps? Because this thing's totally out of tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to
It's-
hear that it made an appearance.
It's definitely not ideal if you're, in a room with a bunch of trained musicians.
Luckily, we are never that.
Right.
I got a question actually from the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, E-Man asked one.
Yeah.
Emmanuel.
He's curious about, do you guys ever clash over ideas? And if so, how do you overcome or find compromise on your both your desires for the project?
That's a really fun problem to have. And it's one that you don't get when you're making music alone. I listened to The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, and he talks about this concept where if both of you don't agree on where it is currently, but then, or maybe one of you agree, or one of you likes how it is, there's always a version that both of you can agree on. You just haven't gone far enough to like find it. So I think every time we've had an issue where one of us is like, I love this, and the other one's like, this is not what I like at all. We've always been able to like keep going or maybe even go past the version that we both like and are excited about. I don't think we've really had many moments. Sometimes we make small compromises where we're like, all right.
Sure. I guess like a compromise that I came into my head right away was just the end of this, selling my diary with the crazy 808s.
Oh.
Because it was just like, when Jared started doing it right away, I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is not the direction. But then it, grew on me a little bit, and the rhythms were a lot more complex than they are now in the final version. So I was like, okay, let's tone back like the craziness of it. And I think just like with the subtle things like that, like even in Galactic Conversation, there were some moments where, like in earlier versions, Jared had it like getting a little too crazy, or it was like too swirly, and I'm like, we should probably bring that back just a little bit because it distracted me kind of from the story.
Yeah.
So it was like, I don't know. I think we're pretty good at just like, hey, that was a little too weird, or like, that went too far. So
we're pretty like open and honest, and I love that so much. I miss that when I make music alone, because when two people can agree on something, it's so beautiful, and it's always feels like it's better than one person just like shooting in the dark or something. But yeah, there were some parts that got a little crazy. Honeybee, there was I mastered it and mixed it probably like literally 50 other times and spent like a week, and only to come back to the version that it was like when Andrew left. Because he helped me master the first one, and then I was like, oh wait, I can, and then like by the end of it I was like, I don't like this song anymore. And then I just played the original version, and I was like, we both agreed on that. Let's go back to that. So after that, I made a rule of like, I'm not touching this stuff really, unless it's super minor, unless we're like both together and we both agree on it, because I can just take the life out of something. Or
It sounds like a little bit to balance that with something else you said that I want to return to. It's the idea of maybe instead of compromising, you're realizing that you can both get what you want out of it, and that you can like skip the compromise, and I think a compromise is taking what you want and getting some of what you want,
yeah.
But if you could get all of what you want and then some through like the creative collaboration process, that's where maybe maybe it doesn't happen like that all the time, but
sometimes it was like just one of us sleeping on it too. Because I remember outside of myself, there was some parts, like the Bit Crush part in the third chorus, I was like, we need to tweak it. I don't like where it's at. And you were like, really? I think it's ready to go.
And then we came back a week later, and I was like, oh yeah, actually, like I don't feel bad about this. And then earlier, the intro to Outside of Myself, you were like, let's just leave it like a normal guitar. I don't know what's going on. Like the first time we changed it, and then a week later, you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you like tweaked it to make it a little more coherent because it was more wild before. So that song is so cool. I don't want to go too far. I hope it's like the next one. It's the next one. Yay! Outside of Myself is the soundtrack to someone getting ready for a party, getting in the car and going to it, and then going there and feeling like they didn't fit in, and like that the people around them were making them into a version of themselves that they didn't recognize. And then the very end of it is the sound of like them running as fast as they could away from the version of themselves that they just saw. So that was a cool one because we kind of like scored it like a film of a song or something, like with the visual in mind the whole time.
Yeah. I think we had the idea of even doing a music video at some point, but yeah.
It's just so hard.
Yeah.
Because it's like raining in a car, and like I'd love to. We had Divine Fruition. We had a song called Divine Fruition where we had this elaborate, beautiful music video when we made that song that we thought of, but it was just way too ambitious for us to like try. We did end up making the 3D visual that I think did like a version of it, but sometimes you just can't. Someday we'll really dive into that, making these songs movies, but.
Well, before you jump into that, I want to give Andrew a chance to comment on something from the album cover that speaks to you.
That's true.
Are there any things that really you'd want to just share from a story from your recording process?
Sure, yeah. So, well, kind of how we were talking about how it's not a complete, like, accurate representation. So the roof in the shack is actually at a little bit of a slant, but we still kept, there's these like kind of skinny windows on the side, one of the walls. So we like, Jared brought that in with the ceiling there. I feel like that's like a core memory of the shack because like I never got blinds for those windows. I always just let the sun come in, and probably part of the reason that the piano is so out of tune, just like it was exposed to so many elements. But that's like one of my favorite parts. And then for sure the beanbag in the corner, that's like iconic.
Yeah.
I bring that thing everywhere I live. It's a love sack. That's like the brand of it, but I just call it the love sack because it's a cool name.
We put a microphone inside the cajon
Yes.
for a lot of the songs. Like it's a Lewitt, like $100 Lewitt mic that we did for the vocals and threw inside of the cajon. And that mic doesn't work anymore because of that.
I don't know why, but
no.
it doesn't. But it was worth it. Like it was so fun. We just loved the sound of it.
Yeah, it was cool. It sat in there nicely. Like it wasn't supposed to, but it worked.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a picture? We'll do that while we listen to this.
If you want to play it, then I'll try.
We're going to listen to Outside of Myself.
Once inside, things got too much bigger. Now I'm stuck inside with things I can't figure. Outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I'm feeling outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I was looking for somebody else in a broken room to show me the ropes and tell me what to do, to bring me to where I am when I'm sleeping. He told me, do all this, see where it goes. It might not be close, but nobody knows. It's not the thing you wanted when you wished for it. Nobody knows he's insecure. He's had a lot of trouble fighting his past years. Some things you do just keep on getting bigger. Words are inside. Things got too much bigger. And I'm stuck inside with things I can't figure. outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I'm feeling outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I was looking for somebody else in a broken room. She was the king of queens, she had sweet perfume. Her crown shined brighter than I thought the sun did. She told me, buy all the clothes and make sure you smile, 'cause all these photos will last a while, and no one wants to see you when you're upset. She told me, look in the mirror and make sure it's blurry, 'cause all these people can't see the details of who you are or what you have inside. Words are inside, things got too much bigger. I'm stuck inside with things I can't figure. Outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I'm feeling outside of myself, like there's a version of me that I might not agree with. I was looking for I was looking for words are inside, things got too much bigger. I'm stuck inside with things I can't figure out.
Apologies for the lawnmower in the background. It's not that bad, but
I didn't even notice it until our mics turned on.
That's there. It's all right.
I'm sending you a screen grab from one of the clips I have
Okay.
From the
from the shack.
Okay.
You want me to show it on screen?
Sure.
Yeah. I found a couple cool pictures, but they're at night. It'll kind of give you an idea.
Andrew wrote the guitar part of that song and played it for me, and I was like, "This is a hit." The what's are inside things got too much bigger. Do you want to? I guess.
You should do it because I feel
Sure.
like that it was kind of
So Zach Sang did an interview with BTS, and he was like asking, I don't know what he asked them, but their response was like what's our inside, like saying like who are we? We're trying to figure out who we are when things like blew up and got bigger. But that was directly what they said in the interview, was what's our inside, things got too much bigger. And I was like, wow, that's such a beautiful way to say that. Like, who am I when it all works out? Yeah, so that was where that came from.
It's such a cool line, just because how he said it. You know, like what's our inside? Things got too much bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just had that in my notes from like, wow, that I had like a weird resonation with like that sequence of words that I've never heard before.
I sent you a couple photos too, like text.
Okay.
If you can pull them up that way.
We're gonna check this one out. This is
We gotta rotate it.
needs to be rotated. Rotate. So here we got the shack.
This is the shack. It was really vibey for sure. Any tapestries you see are probably because there was no sheetrock, so I used tapestries to cover up the
Nice.
exposed fiberglass.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you're looking at the side that has the piano, and the piano is behind the speakers. But yeah, so the speakers in the actual thing represent the speakers in the end cover, and then I guess this is when I made the cover, I was thinking about the other direction where the love sack is.
I sent Willis a picture with from that perspective, but it's just a little darker.
Yeah.
Let me try and change.
But yeah,
it
this
out.
is like It was so hot in there, and my computer was like glitching out. Like sometimes, like I'm pretty sure things didn't record or were like glitched out because it was so hot. And my Apollo was like so hot to the touch that it like hurt to hold.
Yeah, I think there's a clip where you like hand it to me, and I'm like, ow!
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it kind of captures the dream version of what that vibe was.
Yeah, for sure.
And it is used, and I did use AI to make it mostly. But it took trial and error of like the love sack. I probably went through like 30 different versions of what a love sack prompt looked like for that area. And then the piano, I had to like, just every part is like so many attempts to like edit out stuff and then I colored all of it in a certain way. And then the coins, the 2 dimes that are crossing, I did a 3D render of both of our heads, and then I put them on like a circular metal piece, and then I put the words over with text, and then I used AI to make it look like it was like embossed.
That's cool.
And it actually said 1998, and then 23 was on the other coin, but we didn't finish it until 24, so I had to like switch that, which was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be.
That's good.
That was probably the easiest part, but yeah.
Which one would you want me to show?
I would probably do. Gosh, I mean they're all cool. That was when we were actually working in there, I think, or maybe that was just me working in there. But
It's gonna be hard, so I'm just trying to pick one.
yeah, do that one. If it shows the beanbag, yeah. Shout out to Cndrm Willis for doing all the tech stuff for this live
Yeah.
stream.
Ripping.
Getting pictures pulled up, videos pulled up.
Thanks, Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just say, hey, do this. He's like, okay.
All right, we got the image live. This is the alternate shack view 2.
Shack view, too. There's a little delay, so
Oh,
there we
okay.
go.
Sick.
I can't see anything now that this glare hit me.
Yeah, so that's the other side. There's the love sack there in the corner, and then there's like the table vibe that turned into the coffee table, and the stack there in the corner that is like kind of what I tried to replicate that like shelf with. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really like a magical spot for me. There'd be some nights I would sleep out there. Like,
Yeah.
even in the winter, I had like 2 space heaters out there, and I spend a lot of time out there. So I'm happy that the cover shows that, because it's definitely a core memory of mine, and
Well,
for this album too.
that brings me to one of my questions, which is like, you guys both have gone through a lot of change throughout the process of this album, both in terms of, you know, where you live and what you're doing, what you're focused on, what you're thinking. What's this album meant to you throughout that process of change? And yeah.
I think, well, it's cool because a lot of the songs have kind of changed as we have changed too. Like we've talked a lot about how we've made a lot of changes throughout different versions and stuff, but you know, just because we liked a version of it a year ago when we originally recorded it doesn't mean we can't change it. Like we're different now.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be my answer.
Yeah, it kind of did grow with us. We thought that this album was going to be done last September, and that definitely wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So, like, ever since then, I think the further we got from that day, the more the songs changed. Like, the weirder they got. like the singles progressively got weirder because we were like, oh, I don't necessarily resonate with like how that was recorded or where it was at. So we were able to like bring it along with us. So that's kind of why the whole album sounds a little not in the same vibe the whole time, but which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, just the song ideas in general, though, like we've had them for so long. So to me, it's like some kind of comfort throughout all this, like the chaos we've been through over the last 3 years. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like stability. It's like, even though everything has changed, like we wrote these songs like 3 years ago, and like they still like are a part of us, and we're still excited to like put them into the world, even if it sounds sonically different. I think the songwriting on this album is better than anything else. Like we were just able to like collaborate and share stories that like meant a lot to us, and that are some of like the best songwriting that I think we've done ever. Like just listening to or looking at the words, it's like really cool poetry that is like I definitely couldn't have done by myself. I think Gardener's a really cool one for that. It's so abstract and like, I don't know, like otherworldly, but you can resonate to it in like so many different ways. But we'll get to that. I got a lot of feelings on that song.
Maybe let's play another one for them so they can stop listening to this dang lawnmower.
Yeah, good idea. Let's
Give you
power
one more
through
break.
this. All right, what song is this? Oh, baby, baby.
Oh, ready for this one.
Okay.
Oh baby, baby, I'ma do what I'm told until you run out and tell me just to find you some gold forever. Finding somebody else to waste my time with you on my mind. Why'd you have to go and tell me love's not mine? Don't wanna, can't find nobody else. Don't want, can't find nobody better than you. Don't wanna, can't find nobody else. Don't want, can't find nobody better than you. Tapping my toes. Don't wanna, can't find nobody else. Don't wanna, can't find nobody better than her. Better than her. Better than her.
Yeah.
That is such a that's got such cool energy. That nothing that I would have expected from this album, but something I'm so glad made it to it.
That one had a lot to do with you. I don't know if you know.
I know there's a fun little shout out in the outro of that
There
one.
is,
That's
yeah.
real cool for anyone who's heard some of my music. It's got a little ode to Allura. And yeah, that's real special. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think that I just like accidentally stumbled on when we were like just dinking around on the guitars. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I think that sounds like Willis's song.
Yeah.
And then we threw it in there.
We also wrote the first part of this song in your basement on Halloween.
wow.
So originally, it was like me on guitar and Andrew with a bass, and we were noodling. Like we wrote I have the video of us writing the words, but yeah, I don't know.
it felt like such a getting outside of our comfort zone kind of song. Like it was like, I don't know how to say it. Like, oh baby, baby, I'm gonna do what I'm told.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I don't know, so out there and like circusy or like very bombastic in a weird way that I don't think we are normally. But it still was true to like experiences that we had. Like,
I'll give you everything until you just want like money or like something that like has nothing to do with me.
this song was gonna be the first single, but it took like a year to mix. We just kept being like, this isn't it. It didn't. There's so many versions of this song just that don't sound that different, but the mix is different. And we kind of finally realized that we had to make it like, we had to glue the whole song together in a shitty way to make it like good. Like it was too hi-fi. Like it needed to be a little more lo-fi and like all feel like it came from the same grunginess.
There's some real chunk in that bass line. It's got a real thickness to it.
It is chunky. Well, and we recorded the drums for that one, and I played the drums on that one.
Yeah.
So I think we were trying to like blend. We definitely didn't record them with proper mic technique or anything. We just threw a few mics up and called it good. And maybe that was part of the reason it was so hard to glue it together, but I'm happy that it finally came together the way it did, because I think we played into that sound that we recorded in those drums, which is a little more chunky and whatnot. And I remember like during this time you had a lot of inspiration. You got a lot of inspiration from like the White Stripes.
Yeah.
Like that kind of like, punk sound. So I think we really went full force into that with the guitar tones. And,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drop section or the instrumental section
is like very much feels like a rock version of like dubstep, and that was kind of like what we were doing. And that's literally just one pedal. It's a Poly Blue Octave MXR pedal, and that's all that's on that guitar for the drop section. But it was so fat and like took up the whole thing, and it felt like we played Seven Nation Army kind of as a meme, but kind of because it was just a good song at like some of our shows. And it was like, oh, I want to have a song that's like that vibe. So that was kind of what we were shooting for with this one.
You got a homie shouting you out.
Yo, what's up, Kenry? Thanks, man. I miss you too.
Aw.
Yeah, big shout out to everyone joining us today on the live stream. If you're joining us late, this is the feature supported by the No Play podcast, but this is just a celebration of the Paradimes launch. We're doing a little listen through, listening to all the tunes, talking about them, what makes them special, where they came from.
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions, get wild with it or not, or just vibe out and watch us talk about the things that are on our domes.
Watch us catch some rays.
Dude, we're gonna get burnt.
Probably.
And get scorched.
Oh,
over
also,
here.
the reason I'm wearing this sweatsuit is because I tried to wear this sweatsuit for the whole era of this album. Like I try to have like an outfit per like album era, and this has been the one. And you'll even see me wearing this in the Chapel Hill album, like in literally the cover. But it was mostly because I had it and was wearing it for this, so they like kind of blended together. So if you listen to Chapel Hill, it kind of has, compared to all my other music, a similar vibe to this album.
Well, Jared's sweating in it today, and we'll be auctioning it off at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Just kidding, not for sale.
Oh man.
Cool.
Any other thoughts on Oh Baby Baby? Just want to also mention again that the outro is ode to one of Willis's songs called Allura.
Yeah. I had to listen to a couple of my tunes to remember which one it was. But shout out to Xander Marshall for playing the guitar for those tunes. It was really special to kind of hear that come back up and and fit so neatly into that song. So yeah.
All right, next song is Honeybee. Let's get away from this lawnmower again.
I know I want more. 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 All I've done is all I'll become. All I've seen is all I will be until I catch another breath. Laugh until my lungs give out. Take another step until my blues fall out more. Worn out tennis shoes from a person I never knew. A backpack full of dreams that I thrifted down at Honeybee. I'm living in better ways. I'm living in a better place. I'm not trying to run from the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. From the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. From the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. From the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. All I've done is all I'll become. And all I've seen is all I will be until I take another sip. Smile until my teeth fall out. I have another dance. Break my ankle, twist and shout across the living room at a bill I know is overdue. I'm turning off the morning news. I know it's real, I can't take the truth. I'm living in different ways. I'm living at a different pace. I'm not trying to run from the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. From the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. From the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today. From the moon to the sun. From the moon to the sun today.
Yo!
Welcome back.
Welcome.
We back. That one has all kinds of bass lines that get me going. Like, there's a really fun like change up with the sub line that comes in, and that's really fun.
That one had a wild journey. I don't know if you wanna.
I'm trying to like.
You can talk about where the name came from.
Oh sure, yeah. Well, so I think it was during, I don't know, we were working on a couple other songs from the album. And we went for a walk around the neighborhood here. And we found a shop. It was called the Queen Bee. It's like a antique thrift store shop. And just kind of an interesting vibe in there. They had some cool stuff, for sure. But yeah, it was just a nice break from writing tunes and just got to walk around and
Yeah, I think we just got so tired of mixing the album and like recording it that we were like, can we just have fun and write a song? So then we wrote this song. Well, we went on a walk. We were like, we need a break. So we went on a really long walk and tried to like just find peace with it all and enjoy each other's company, and then ended up coming back and trying to write a song about a little bit about our experience on the walk, and also got like outside of that, but
Just like more reference to the walk.
and
the shop.
we thought the place was called Honeybee, but then we're like, oh, I guess it's Queen Bee, but we'll just leave Honeybee or whatever.
Yeah. And I think this one was also in a completely different vibe when
Oh
we
my God.
first wrote it. Like
It felt
way
like
faster and
the tempo changed like 5 times.
yeah.
It originally felt a little bit like, I don't know.
From what I remember, it was more like positive and cheesy.
Yeah.
And now it's like kind of this cool. I wouldn't even say
Like-
like promiscuous, but it has that kind of like
Yeah,
more like deeper club vibe. But it's not. It's not like I don't know. It's not like the club.
It has
club
like
banger.
anti-drops now. Except for that, one of my favorite production moments on the whole album is that like weird like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
That was so fun. It's just like pushing it to the end.
There's some really cool change ups in it. There, like, one thing that I enjoy energetically about your music as of recently, your production, is when you're able to slide in changes that surprise me, but kind of come up unexpectedly. Like that one in a couple. There's at least one period where I think that you feel like the floor drops out from under you, and then it's like drops you into a club or something. It feels really cool.
And we tried to make it so it wasn't just like punching you in the face. It was like you like did fall into it. Because the drops are like dance sections of this song aren't very dancey. They're just the same bass but like more emphasis.
Yeah.
So when we went into that like dun, 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 it was for some reason it felt seamless going into that and then pulling out into the outro. Like I know I want more.
Yeah. This is one that really surprised me, like how different all the sections are, but like just how well we were able to like bring them all together. And
I don't know what version this is. Oh no! Wow, that's. Sorry, 1 second. Need to find an earlier version. Yeah, originally the song was written on guitar. And had like kind of Christian contemporary church vibes, which I kind of liked, but we ended up going away from. Is there a question? What do you guys?
We got a shout out from.
whoa, that screen just went black.
It did because you covered up the. Now it's back. We got a shout out from Alec Hansen. He says, "Congrats on the new album."
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
Hansen.
you.
These boys have outdone themselves on this one. Thrilled to be here with. I look like I'm just coming out of the sun right here. There's like very little of me that's coming through. But yeah.
Appreciate you for tuning in, Alec.
And then we made a drill hip hop version of this song.
Ooh. Is that one we get to listen to?
I'm trying to find it, but I'm trying to find both those versions. And then Andrew made a remix that's pretty sick.
I did.
That uses the vocal that's not on the final vocal.
True,
It was like
yeah.
the demo vocal,
Lots
which is
to be
also a cool vibe.
lots to be explored with that one.
For sure.
Here, yeah.
Laugh until my lungs give out. Take another step until my blues fall out. My worn out tennis shoes from a person.
Can I get one of those?
Backpack full of dreams that have drifted down at Honeybee. I'm living better ways. I'm living in a better place. and shout across the living room at a bill I know is overdue. Turning off the morning news, I know it's real, I can't take the truth. I'm living different ways, I'm moving at a different pace, but I'm not trying to run from the moon to the sun today.
I'll do a better one later.
All I've done is all I've become, all I've seen, all I will be.
That's right.
Yeah, I could be convinced to put that one out, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, me too. Yeah.
I like the end.
Yeah. The end is sweet. That like stuttery bass thing, where it's like
Yeah.
that when I decided to dive into that remix, it was like we had a really long writing session, and this is like probably one of the first times I think Jared has tapped out, and like he was like, dude, I'm so tired. I was like, I got like loads of energy. I'm gonna work on something. So I was like, I think it was like 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. I started making my own version of the song, and that was like one of the big inspirations for my remix was that like stuttery bass thing right at the end before the
So
guitar comes back in.
You basically remixed this song, this version of this song.
Yeah.
I think, so that day was like months ago, and we were like, you're going to sleep over, we're going to finish the album, we have a hard deadline of the day after. And then we started at like noon, and we just knew that we weren't going to finish it. And then at 10 p.m. or 11, I was just like so tired. I was like, dude, I think I got to go to bed. And then you were like, I'll just do this for a little longer and then go to bed. And then I think we worked on music the day after too when we woke up. Mm-hmm. But then you ended up staying up till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and made that whole Honeybee remix. And then we came back to it like weeks later to like finish it up. But mostly is the same vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out if one person throws in the chat to put it out, I'll put it out. We'll see if anybody's paying attention and enjoyed that.
Oh, that's cool. It might. I don't know. I was just thinking it could be fun to put out like a demo version of that, like the whole album.
Yeah,
put out an earlier
some
version.
are definitely easier to go out than others.
Yeah. Because we won't have to do all of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an idea.
Whenever we also got like too extently bored, or burnt out mostly, we would start remixing the songs or working on dance tunes, because me and Andrew also have other aliases called Neon Reject and Luster, so we'd made some weird wonky bass tunes, probably a house tune, and we'll see what comes of those ideas. But it was really fun making those.
Yep.
I'm trying to find the drill adjacent. So,
Oh yeah.
I think we took the vocal out. This would be really cool.
Actually, it was this version I chopped up a lot for my remix too.
Oh yeah.
Like those like higher end.
Backpack full of dreams that
Yeah.
And this part too.
Are there any Are there any songs or versions that you are disappointed didn't make the final cut?
Maybe I kind of wish we figured out the drill thing. Or like, I think this might be a later version of it. But just the beat of it, cause we did it. It's this weird time drill thing. It's not like traditional. If I can get rid of the phone.
It's almost tough to follow your vocal rhythm,
Yeah.
but I like the skittery hats.
Like this
and
is so cool.
the rhythm. Yeah.
So this was the in-between of that first version and what you finally hear. But yeah, so as you can see, they really got a new life of their own. All right, let's jump on to the next one.
Let's yum right on in.
Next one.
What we got? Piece of Your Mind.
It's been 5 years, but they keep asking how you
Sorry.
doing on the other side of the world. It's been 5 years, but I lied. I'm the only one that still talks about you sometimes. I just want a piece of your mind, a slice of your brain, the clouds in your eyes and the way you feel pain. Tell 'em what it means to be lost, all the cuts on your veins, when it hurts to feel tossed by all the things you can't change. But even when the lights go low, there will always be tomorrow. When the sun comes up, there's a smile you can borrow from the sky. From the sky, reaching for clouds. Right now I miss the way you laughed then. Told me I could do better things than write and sing. But maybe it's not a waste of time. It didn't hurt 'cause we were acting like kids that love the moments in between days where the grown-ups thought they knew something. A slice of your brain, the clouds in your eyes and the way you feel pain. You should know you're beautiful when you're lying awake, getting lost in your mind, 'cause there's a war you can't take. But even when the lights go low, there will always be tomorrow. When the sun comes up, there's a smile you can borrow from the sky, 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 sky. Guess I miss falling in love with the clouds in your eyes when they light up the sky and you're staying the night. 'Cause even when the lights go low, there will always be tomorrow. When the sun comes up, there's a smile you can borrow from the sky, sky, sky. Ever wonder
I forgot the piano was in this song.
Mm-hmm. It always sneaks in.
Yeah. Wow, that's such a beautiful song. Me and Andrew wrote that one in The Place, which is like kind of where we started writing a lot of these songs. And it was originally on the JDXI. It was like this ARP that you threw up. And then I started it by trying to write about wanting to like someone that you know more about them than most people know about them, but they're closed off to you now. You like know more about them than anyone else or most people in the world, but now you're distant from them. You're like, I just want a piece of your mind. I just want to know how you feel about me. I just want to know what you're thinking about. I wish I could be there to help you, even though we're not close anymore. So it was like kind of referencing a lot of people in my life or like past relationships where you like talking about things they struggle with or like things that I struggled with. But just like such an intimate connection with somebody that you wish you like had a piece of again.
Well, I think like the lyrics changed slightly at the end too, so it's like kind of you coming to peace, I guess, or terms with like some of those, like that distance you have
Yeah.
with them.
I'm
Like I'm trying to blank on
this
the
song is the hardest for me to sing live because every chorus I think is different or like it's like the same but switches every single time it comes around. It had so much intention when I wrote it, but when I'm trying to like remember it to sing, I'm like, is it this one or is it that one? But yeah.
What do you want people to be left with from that one? It feels like it's trying to speak something. Can the message be simplified into a word or statement?
Well, I think it's like in the end, it's like even when life gets dark, like it's gonna be sunny in the morning, like which is something that I don't need to tell anyone, that I couldn't really tell the person that I want to talk to.
Yeah.
It's just like wishing that you could like remind them of that. Like I know that we're not close anymore. I know that whatever that is, but I just wish I could remind you that like I can see you're struggling, but I can't talk to you about it.
Yeah.
So I wish that I could just remind you that it'll be sunny tomorrow and that you'll like, that it's not going to stay like this. Yeah.
Between this, you have another song on the album which is more about it's a similar kind of distance with relationship to another person, but it's more of like a final permanent death like distance. How do you think about this one as being similar in a way to that song, but
You're talking about backwards?
memories sort of too, I think.
Oh.
But yeah,
Sure.
like I think there's a couple of songs in the album that deal with like a little bit of a heavier tone. This one, in the way that you're saying, it sounds like there's an element of an uplifting, a sort of uplifting energy. It's like I see you over there, like I know you're still here, wish I could help. And the other ones, there's a different tone.
Yeah. So like backwards is a little more like all or nothing, or a little more sassy or immature.
Yeah.
And memories is kind of like this holding on for dear life on to like what you still have of that person, because like there's death involved, because so you never know, like there's no reconcile or like another interaction.
Yeah.
But this one I think is like very much so just like in that in between where the person's still around, but it wouldn't be cool to talk to them about what they're struggling with, or what you're struggling with. I love, so we started writing it in The Place, and then I just loved it.
When I hear songs or choruses again in my head, and I'm like, I probably forgot about this song, and then I reminded myself of it by just singing the melody one day. So the main piano you're hearing, like the dun 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 dun, is on that I don't even know, some Casio piano that I got,
And I did that, and I was trying to redo some of the verses and make it that changing every section. I'm really rambling right now, so I apologize because I'm trying to like think while
Why
speaking.
why are the changes a part of it? What was the what
Well, it
kind
was
of
just like
changes
having
are
it
there?
evolve, like
Yeah.
like each section getting like a little more clearer and having a different story. Like I think this one has the most in-depth verses, and like every pre-chorus is different. Every chorus has a little bit different, whether it's the melodies or the harmonies. But the opening line I love so much. It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years.
And they keep asking.
But they keep asking about how you're doing on the other side of the world. And then it's been 5 years, but I lied. I'm the only one that still talks about you sometimes. That's like, gives me goosebumps. It's like such a good line. It's like being so dramatic. Like if you were going to tell the person and like everybody's been asking about you and like how we broke up and like how you're doing for like ever since we broke up. But then you're like, actually, I'm the only one that talks about you and everybody's tired of me talking about you. Which is like, it's like telling this like really outlandish lie and then like correcting yourself immediately. It's like such a fun
Being
concept.
Super true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, well, both being. You want both are things you want to believe are true or something like that. You carry them both in the same way. It's really neat.
Yeah. And yeah, so the piano switch at the end to that out of tune one.
How does it resolve with that? How does it resolve with regard to dealing with those messages you can't send?
I don't know if you ever really get the full resolution. You just have to like at the end, it's like you won't ever wonder why things are the way they are. It's like, I don't know, some hope for the future.
Are these like
Might be something that I still need to like figure out for myself in some ways.
are these songs a little message in a bottle and you gotta put
No.
it to bed?
Some of my songs in the past have been, but this one definitely felt like closure in a lot of ways. And it wasn't directly like pulling from one relationship. It felt like some lines I thought of one specific person or a different specific person, but it was like a compilation of all of those feelings that I've had in a similar bucket. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Cool.
Little
Lovely.
interlude.
Interlude. What time is it?
7:47.
Whoa! That's cool.
As you can hear in the right ear, there's a mic inside the piano that can hear Andrew's chair creaking. And then the mic in the left ear is me walking around with the Lewitt mic. And the reason it pops out sometimes is because I just ducked the volume whenever it clipped because I hit something. So
And I don't know.
Mosquito on your forehead.
Oh, that was that same mic we like threw in the cajon and probably destroyed during that session.
yeah,
Was that all recorded back at the place?
that was in the shack.
That was in the
Shack.
shack.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's so cool because like it's weird, but my favorite part of that recording is hearing that bus. It's either a bus or like a garbage truck that squeals, like the brakes. You just
Yeah.
hear it in the background because like I don't know, it just brings me back to spending so much time in that shack, and it's like I don't know, it brings me a lot of joy.
I think that little clip does like really capture If you were to like just capture the vibe of that shack, that
Mhm.
like one clip is it.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that song has a strong presence of Foley or kind of like random found sounds recording. A lot of those feel like maybe they originate from the location, the shack.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other examples of like fun sounds that made their way into this album and something that you recorded like on a phone or
There's a
just
lot of
in
weird
passing?
sounds all throughout this.
Yeah.
Oh, I can play the. What is that? What is that one? That's,
Oh, I don't remember where that came from.
Is this a
what's it
cutting room
called?
floor? Something that didn't quite make the cut?
It was
Yeah.
just like us saying weird stuff after we recorded or during we recording it, like some song. Man, I
was
wish.
Like, boom. Hey,
Yeah.
oh,
And we made like this cheesy dubstep song of it. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh.
This
we had
sounds like
Popeyes,
fun.
but that was after it for sure.
Uh,
Like, I guess another example while he's looking for that, it's Selling My Diary, like that, like crazy, like just it just comes out of nowhere.
yeah.
That weird.
And then the
weird
one
scream.
too. Like we tried to leave in a lot of like the us talking to each other. Like oh baby baby, the intro.
It's just me like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
what is that called? Crap. Ooh, I think I know where to
I got
look
a
for it.
question for you, Luster. Well, he's busy looking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there I am. I'm curious what you learned from. I take it you had a little bit of a backseat role on this album, not to infer anything about your contribution, but I'm curious about what you might have learned watching Jared produce in that capacity over the last couple months. You know, if there's anything you picked up or could speak to about,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
I think just like, I mean, I always kind of understood how Jared works on Ableton, and it's like he's just a wizard at like kind of like at least getting a structure started. Sometimes the structure is insane. But I guess I'm just that reminder, like, hey, let's tone it back a little bit.
Yeah.
The structure doesn't make sense or whatever. But he's just so fast at like getting an idea down, where I think I struggle with like I wouldn't say a perfectionist, but I'm like very meticulous. Like all the little details. I'm like, oh, it has to be like this, or like here's how I want this to sound. So I'm gonna spend like 2 hours like getting this sound right before I even move on. Where Jared's just like, and all right, well, let's throw something else in here.
We're
Like
gonna
let's get
bounce
this
this
going.
to
We need
audio,
drums.
reverse it.
Yeah. Like let's just try reversing it. Let's like stretch it so it does a cool like glitch thing. And all right, and I'm like still lost like 10 steps behind, and he's like,
Well, but you're able to follow along and participate in other ways. I think
Yes.
you'll be playing with the guitar and able to add something, or like playing on some pads and record in a.
for sure. Yeah. Well, and also like Jared is a plug-in god. Like
Yeah.
he knows like what to put
Yeah.
on what in like all situations.
Yeah.
But I think that's because
you'll abuse plugins in ways that I could have never thought to do, though.
sure.
And like
That's cool.
sometimes I couldn't mix my vocals. Like I was like, I'm way too insecure about this, or like I'm overthinking it. So I need like I desperately need you to like help me with like, there was a few songs, and it was the first time I've ever had that where somebody else could go in and be like, hey, I think this sounds good. Is it okay with you? And I was like, yeah, I feel better about it now that somebody else feels good about it.
Yeah, I think there was a couple, I don't even remember the specific songs, but where I was like going through all the different takes of vocals and like putting what I thought was the best take as the main take or whatever, but you were just like sitting on the couch,
Yeah.
like off to the side.
And once in a while I'd be like, absolutely not that one.
yeah.
But for the most part, it was just nice to have somebody else like listen to it and interpret it like what was good, because it's very easy to get self-conscious and like overproduce your own vocals because it's very raw to yourself.
Well, I know that you both have worked together in this isn't the first time you're collaborating now, from getting things started long ago.
Could you hand me that sun kiss, Jared, since you're over there?
But Jared, I guess same but opposite question to you. I'm curious if are you gonna sit down here in a second?
Yeah, my computer is dying.
Oh, I've got power over here if you need anything.
Oh yeah, that'd be great actually.
Is it the same type as this?
Yeah.
Is that gonna reach?
Oh,
Look at that, dude.
heck yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, what was your
Oh,
question?
Livestream missed it. I didn't have it up.
Yeah.
They missed the plug. Yeah, same question but opposite. I'm curious what if anything, really spoke to you about the way that Andrew uses instruments to kind of to create and to.
He was like so particular on things that I would have like never guessed. Like he was so stern on like certain things, certain areas that I was like, okay, yeah. Like it felt like we were both like very like on like certain parts, but they weren't the same thing. Like it was like it was like details or like that one part just didn't transition well, or like that one weird sound, or like how it's mixed. Where for me, yeah, I was always like, how do we make it shorter and more like pop vibes? And then Andrew was like, how do we make it more of what it is in like an art piece? So I think we kind of ended up meeting in the middle there, where I get kind of hyper pop vibes, and Andrew like pulls out the like, how do we let this moment be its moment for what it is?
That's an amazing answer.
That's a great answer, yeah.
So yeah, it's always been a pleasure like working together because we like complement each other so much. And I'm so glad we got to get your vocals on there too. Like, like Andrew helped write all like pretty much all the songs and sung on them and played probably over half the instruments. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just him just showing up and like doing one thing or anything. It was like, or whatever. Like most things were collaborative for this album.
For sure. Yeah. I know there's a couple like harmonies and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. So
Every song I would ask you, like, you want to do harmonies on this?
yeah. Or like we would just be messing around and I'd, blurt out some harmony. He's like, you want to
That's
record
it.
that, right?
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
was like, that's on this song. And then some
of
I
them
couldn't.
made.
Some of them I couldn't convince you, but some of them did make it.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I found that weird thing that I was talking about.
No, break it out. Let's hear it. That's reckless. Yeah, you got to leave some streams for the rest of them, and I'll put that out.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, so we just got like tired of working on all the songs, and that was just some weird thing that you did with your voice because we were just getting wild with something. So we clipped that out, and we're like, this is something. It's like a Jersey dubstep song.
Yeah, Jersey into dub drop.
Yeah.
I feel like I was trying to like recreate some weird sound, or I don't know.
Oh, like what? Oh, it was like you were recreating how crazy us just like talking was. What song was it where we were just like, ha ha? Because we were recording and they were like going over each other, but then at the end it sounded like 20 different versions of us laughing and like being like, and like stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's where like a lot of those like weird one shots came from. Was just like that chaos of like before or after recording stuff, like the yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Like we could probably put out some like
Like a
2-hour-long sample pack of
yeah.
all the chaos.
And the like crazy drums we did with the cajon.
yeah.
Like it sounds crazy just
Yeah.
clipping that thing.
Yeah.
All
That's
right,
cool.
let's keep moving.
Yep.
If we
Memories.
100 people in the live stream, they'll do a sample pack.
I think people are gonna leave because he said that. All right, let's go.
I don't wanna remember you like this. Always fighting for a kiss. It sure isn't easy getting older, and it makes it hard to hold on tight to the memories inside my head. Little old me tucked in a bed at night. I miss life with you. And the memories inside my head. Little old me tucked in a bed at night. I miss life with you. I don't wanna remember you like this. Where can I buy another slice of your sassiness? Searching the Sunday papers for a piece of you, but it's the past I want the view of. The memories inside my head will hold me tucked in a bed at night. I miss life with you. And the memories inside my head will hold me tucked in a bed at night. I miss life with you.
Pretty.
Emotional.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it better now.
I remember that one being played at the show, the first No Play show, and just being really like a spectacular moment because you had done the first half of your set, which was like kind of a higher energy thing, and then everyone was like sitting down and like snuggled up to their partner or whatever, and then you played this song. And
The room got so quiet too when I played that song. I was like, I remember thinking while playing it during that show, I was like, kind of like, don't screw this up because like you have everyone's attention. And like I was looking at everybody and it looked like everybody was in their own mind thinking about like what version of that song was to them.
Yeah.
And I was like, don't pull them out of this. Like whatever you do, just like keep going.
Yeah.
I remember that too. Like, yeah.
I felt that moment for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Well, and it sounded a little different than this version too.
Yeah, it never got like super high energy.
It was a little more chilled out. But this song it's gone on a bit of a journey too because it started off as like more triplet feel. It's like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. But I'm happy we went a little more straight on the beat.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more.
And then your vocals at the
impactful.
end were sick. I think this is like the biggest showcase of that.
Mhm.
Because you sing that, and the memories inside my, like in a way that I couldn't. Like I'd sing it right after you, but you doing it the first time is really like, feels like it kicks open like, just like this soul yearning, like whatever those words are is like times 1,000.
Yeah.
It's a special one I feel like people could, really connect with on the first listen to and
Yeah.
find themselves singing along to and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad, like, when we actually, we kind of leaked the song
Yeah.
on accident for like I don't know, it's like a week and a half before it's supposed to come out.
Really?
And,
Yeah. I accidentally didn't set the date for when it was supposed to be released, so it released immediately on YouTube.
Oh, no. Yeah. What
and
happened?
On Spotify, too. Like, it went up
Oh, yeah.
for a little bit, too. But my dad, like, I think I showed him. I was like, oh, this isn't supposed to be out, but here's our newest song. And every time I play it, he's like, you got a hit on your hands, or it says something like
Yeah.
that.
And
it's
then he always saw me, he's like, you got a hit there.
Wow.
for sure, yeah. So my dad really likes that song. Shout out my dad.
Yeah,
I don't
shout
think
out.
he's in here, but
Um,
yeah, know that. I mean, it's a
we-
very raw song,
Yeah, we originally wrote it. Both my grandparents passed away to COVID a little over 2.5 years ago, I think, and we wrote it right after that because my mom was like remembering my grandma, and my grandma had pretty bad dementia, and she was talking about how she didn't want to like remember my grandma in her worst moments, like with dementia, where she was like fighting them when they were trying to take care of her and stuff and not remembering anything. And she verbatim said like, I don't want to remember her like this. And I was like, wow, that's like, I've never heard that like that. And I don't know, it felt so much to me. So I wanted to write something about it. So when me and Andrew were just messing around, I brought it up and then just tried to think of things that reminded me of my grandma, like the good memories that I did hold on to, like trying to find a piece of you in the Sunday paper, or working up by a slice of your sassiness, and then searching the Sunday paper. Like for some reason, I distinctly remember her trying to what summer camp do you want to go to? And then we like searched through the Sunday paper. Like, I don't know why that moment was like so special for me, but just trying to hold on to like the best parts of somebody that you can't have around any longer.
I think that the Where Can I Buy Another Slice of Your Sassiness is like, that's from the whole album. That's just like one of the lines that really sticks out to me. It's like, dang. I mean, makes me think about, like loved ones too. And I know like I think one of the last sessions of us like finishing the song, like one of my good friends was going through some sepsis stuff. And so like, yeah, definitely hit me hard too. Like, and when I listen back to it, I'm surprised today I didn't cry, but like, it's an emotional one for sure.
Yeah.
Gets me in my feels. Even just talking about it, So,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
What did
happy we wrote that one.
What was it like when it came about? Like, did you feel like it was going to have an impact like the one it seems like it could, or did you know it was going to speak to people, or you just?
I don't know. It felt pretty easy when we wrote it, I think. Like, it was just like, the words just kept just like coming out. And then it was like pretty simple. Like, the verses are pretty short, and then it's just the same chorus. Yeah, and then the only thing we added at the end was like some strumming, because originally it was just like all ARP guitar mostly. And then we added some strumming and the bombastic just
That
like
build at the
scream. Yeah.
Yeah. Because before it never got that
No.
like in your face. It was just so like
It
even
stayed
at
in
the end,
that, yeah.
It's nice that it has a bit of a release to it, like a cathartic kind of.
And we like are laughing at the end of the song.
Yeah.
Like we're like, but not in the creepy way like I just did, but like in like a nice way.
It'll be interesting to see how it continues to evolve in live shows as you balance those energies between making everyone cry and maybe building to a crescendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say this or not, but like part of me like has struggled playing it live because of the weight that it has, and partially because it feels like I'm selling an experience that's like very intimate, which I think is good, especially when hearing other people relate to it. But whenever I play it and I tell people why I wrote it, I don't know, it feels a little weird. Like, it feels like, I don't know. I don't know how to say that, but I'm glad that it resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very, like, I can understand that because it's just so, like, personal, you know?
Yeah.
But
And I've seen people, like, put it in their stories. Use the song in their stories, or, like, used it for very different reasons. Like someone put it in like a story of a fond memory of like a fond memory of them and a friend.
yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so cool that it can be something other than what it was when we wrote it. And also, like, sharing why we wrote it can, like, I don't want it to taint other people's experience with the song, because there's no right way to listen to a song or to relate to it.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes even when we write songs, we don't know what it means until we figure out why we relate to it. So yeah, don't take any of us explaining what these songs are supposed to mean as like a rule, because it even changes for us sometimes. Like a couple years later, a certain song that we even wrote will be like super relatable in a different direction.
Yeah.
Even my name, Smilebro. Like someone said, I've told both of you this, but like someone said like, oh, is it because like you want other people to tell you to smile? And I was like, because your music's sad? And I was like, holy crap, you just threw my head in a tornado.
I guess that works, yeah.
Yeah.
Because both work.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We got Gardener. The Gardener.
The gardener.
I see roses in her grave, bloody thorns, she was a slave to a magic love, her special place, left to rot just like her face. Buy a ticket, come and see, walk around until it leaves. Just don't cry or touch the trees, 'cause this garden is dying, so let it be. And the grass was green, but now it's turning brown, and I'll try my best to leave without a frown. The clock keeps ticking faster every day. I know you have to go, but I wish that you could stay. I see daisies in her lies, so much beauty when she cries. The only one that's meant for me, until she wants to be set free. Buy a ticket, you and me, travel the world for just a week. The ship is sinking, ice is deep. Just smell the ocean and look at me. And the grass was green, but now it's turning brown, and I'll try my best to leave without a frown. The clock keeps ticking faster every day. I know you have to go, but I wish that you could stay. smell lilacs in their love. It only comes from up above. They're so perfect, lucky them. Soft and sturdy like the end. Nothing's good until it lies in your bed with no surprise. I'll be happy when I find something other than her thighs. And the grass was green, but now it's turning brown. And I'll try my best to leave without a frown. The clock keeps ticking faster every day. I know you have to go, but I wish that you could stay.
One more time.
And the grass was green, but now it's turning brown. And I'll try my best to leave without a frown. The clock keeps ticking faster every day. I know you have to go, but I wish that you could stay.
Whoa!
Dang.
First half of this album was definitely happier.
Yeah. That was trippy, like listening to that, because there's like birds chirping in that recording,
Yeah.
and there's also birds chirping here, but like because we have it in our headphones, I couldn't hear it. I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah.
But
we recorded that song live. We're going to put out a live video of that actual version. You'll be able to see us performing that exact version of that song live on YouTube soon.
Yep.
That was probably one of the first or the first song that we wrote for this album. And it has a weird vibe compared to like all the other ones. Like it was taken from hints of our lives, but really, I don't know. We were writing this story that felt like some movie that was in our head.
yeah.
It was like, what happens to the garden after the gardener dies?
Yeah.
And it was kind of like this watching something die that the person who created it and took care of it and the only person who knows how to work with it is gone. So now you're like watching it all. You're holding on to it or trying to hold on to it before it goes, but you know that it can't last because the person who took care of it is leaving. And it's a little bit of satire with all the verses about different things in that vibe, like nothing's good until it lies in your bed with no surprise. It's like, whoa. And then their love is soft and sturdy like the end, lucky them. Like it's like, wow, okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It has a cool vibe, but it felt more of like a poem of like what, if you were to think of like what would happen to a garden after the person who took care of it left. That's basically what we tried to like capture for this song.
The rhythm of the instrumental is very sort of repeats in an interesting way. So like, although the things in the story seem to be fading and like you said, like kind of going to dust, keeps going around, keeps repeating. And I think that some of what I associate with your musical talent kind of shines through in that instrumental too. Like it's simple, but it's like rhythmically dynamic, you know.
It's like something that could repeat and it doesn't like necessarily get old.
Yeah, and I like the finger picking sort of flow.
This song has always been so hard for me to sing because it kind of feels like spoken word poetry with a little bit of melody. So we tried so many different versions of recording this, and that's why we did the live version, because we were like, all right, we have to like give ourselves like a hard and fast deadline of like whatever happens here, we do the best thing that we can do, and then that's it. And even that was hard for me, like putting out this song like it is, like it's the only song on this album that doesn't have any like tuning on my vocals. And when I tried to use it, it like didn't sound good, and it was like took it out of that vibe. But also like where it's at is like very raw and like makes me feel a little uncomfortable or like insecure, I guess. So for me, this is like one of the harder ones to listen to, but every time I listen to it, I try to like listen to it in the context of itself, like my vocal in relation to the bass guitar in this song, not my vocal in comparison to Selling My Diary or like one of the other songs. Like this is like a capture of this vibe. Like this song is a different vibe than the rest of the album, and it is like more poetic. So like the vocal literally is like more in that vibe too.
Yeah. Well, I think we tried to like record more polished versions of it, where it's like we're gonna be like super, just like make sure the bass is right, the tone is correct, and like do the vocals later. But it just like never came together the way we wanted it to. And like any time we played it live, we were just like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, let's just do a live take.
Yeah.
I think that's what it needs.
Yeah, it was probably the first song we wrote and the last song we recorded.
Interesting.
So it was like, but we were like so stoked about it and like what it was, and it did kind of set the tone for the album. Like your bass playing on that was the first time I'd ever heard you do that like 2-string, like rhythmic, whatever, which has influenced like how I play guitar now and the rest of the album. Like, and it's so cool. Like you're like, I don't know how to play bass, and then you're like dun 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 dun.
With my thumb coming over.
Yeah,
I didn't know it could
definitely
be
not
played like that.
Exactly. Yeah, no, you don't know how to play bass like the right way, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because like whatever happened was beautiful.
I
That's
feel like,
special.
have you ever seen August Rush?
Yeah.
I feel like that was, I never realized how much of an impact that movie had on my life. Because it's like, I don't know, you don't have to approach everything the way that like the book says.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, I mean, sure, like in a way I'm playing it like plugging the strings the way you should, but like, I don't know. I know some people cheat and, you know, bring the thumb over the fretboard, and I do that sometimes, and it's like, just break the rules, you know?
Yeah. It's funny how we like make those rules too in our head. Like I remember you saying that like, I'm putting the thumb over, like I'm a
plebeian or whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
Energy.
But why? Like it sounds amazing, and like Hendrix put his thumb over and like played the low E string with his thumb. So like that's probably to your advantage if you like naturally are doing that in a cool way. Yeah, that was such a cool one.
Yeah.
Next song.
I got some questions before you get it started.
Sure, yeah.
I think this would be a good one. Actually, these are celeb questions from our friend Late Night Luke, also known as Luke Thomas Smith.
Great.
Find his music online everywhere. No Play Collective artist. And first question for Jared, both the advantages and disadvantages of like working with a collaborator on an album rather than by oneself.
Close my ears.
the advantages.
I think it's like what I said earlier, like if two people can agree on something, it always feels like it's better than if you do it by yourself. Like there are very rare cases where I've done things by myself that felt like I captured my feeling alone. But so rare.
Like I crave that so much, just having one other person to be like, I agree with where this is at. And like whenever one person is stalling out, the other person's like, oh no, keep going. And like, let's go in this direction. That's so beautiful. And I crave that all the time. I think that's like the best part. Disadvantage, I think the biggest one is just scheduling. I think that's probably like entirely the biggest problem, because like other people I've tried to collaborate with, it's nothing either person is doing wrong. It just doesn't work up to meet up. And Andrew is just devoted like
being intentional and coming over every week, which I appreciate so much. And whenever two people can be excited about something, just run with it 1,000 miles an hour until like that steam burns out, because that's like, you can't get that any other way.
Sure. I guess on that note, it's like there were definitely a couple times where it was like, you know, nothing against you or just like the writing process or anything, but it was like, oh, like we got to do this like this week, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
But I think it was like a healthy pressure, you know, because it's just like you're like, you know, pressuring yourself to just do something every week, and I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, a couple times it was like, yeah, I don't know. But then like I feel like when that would happen, sometimes it'd be the best sessions we had.
Yeah,
like,
for
like,
sure.
oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, I just tried to reach out every week and be like, hey, are you down this week? And like some weeks it didn't work out and it was fine. Like, but just like having the invitation out there. And I knew that it wasn't like always fun or like exciting to like work on. Like at some parts, especially in the end, it felt like homework.
Because all these songs were already written and like almost all recorded, and we were just mixing the final part, and we actually didn't know what was wrong with it. So we're coming into it like, all right, let's slam our head into the computer for like 2 hours and hope that we finish the song. So yeah, the final stretch, like the order of the songs was so thrown together. Like we finished the last songs and I was like, this has to be done. And then I'd like we talked about it, and then we were like, yeah, that rough order. And then I like added the interlude or the Stuck in a Rut and 1237 because I just found them. And then I sent it to Andrew, like the whole list, and he's like, actually, let's swap these, and these. And then we sent it out and it was done.
Yeah. I'm happy we revisited it too, and you threw in those couple of things too, because I think we did rush it a little too much, but then like when I looked back over it, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I think that second order we came up with is pretty prime.
For sure.
I don't think I would change anything. I was just thinking if that was a question, like would I have changed the order? I don't think so.
I think that was probably like, we took all the time to make it like so in-depthly, and then for the order was like so like thrown together, but I think it was in a cool way where it was like what feels right, like no wrong answers.
Well, we just listened to what was a really kind of more emotional set at the end, and so like to me it feels a little bit like the performance that you had at Snowplay a little bit, where it started off just like really big and then brought people down. But with an album with such dynamics, it can be difficult, I imagine, to figure out how to put those two things next to each other and to figure out how to make them play nicely with each other. Was that difficult, or did it kind of like, you know, you throw the dice down and you're like, oh, I got a good lie, and feels like it came together well? Like, what happened with that? Balancing those energies.
We probably could have been more like particular with the order.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would have been in our benefit.
The hard part is that this album isn't like the same story throughout. It's like little snippets of our life and like different production. So we really kind of just try to do the orchestration of a vibe. It was really hard because there was multiple songs that were like, oh, this could open the album. And there was multiple songs that was like, this would be a good closer. And there were multiple songs where it was like, this one would be good to go after this one, but we had a good reason to put it somewhere else. So that was probably the hardest part. That more than any other album, we had versatile songs that could have been at different parts. And then we also had Outside of Myself that wasn't a single, but felt like one of the strongest last songs that we wanted to like make sure people heard. So it was in the first half. But it did kind of feel like it could go to the second half of the album. But there was a little bit of like, we don't want it to get like just lost because the song is so special.
No, wow.
Sure. Yeah. But I think like deciding on Hello being the first one was just
was
It's
easy.
like hi, you know, like hello, I'm here.
That's what I open my set with, and probably will open a lot of sets with.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, for Andrew.
Yeah. From Late Night Luke.
From Late Night Luke. So this album is for you a deviation in the types of music that you typically produce. I think
Sure.
in a lot of ways, for sure. People who produce with you might recognize certain pieces of it, but I'm curious, what's it like to make music so different from what you would think about as your primary genre?
It's refreshing. Like it feels good to just step out of like strictly electronic, four to the floor vibes for sure. I mean, like you said, there's little nooks and crannies where you can like tell it's my production, maybe with the bass lines or things like that. But no, it's good. It's just good to like, I don't know, use real instruments and like a lot of my stuff doesn't have vocals, so it's been pretty cool to actually like, you know, I mean, we've written songs in the past before too with like lyrics and stuff, but really focusing in on like a lyrical or lyric heavy project it was nice, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I've done some drumming in, you know, Alec John and the Sky Surfers, so I have a little, you know, I guess there's also like the bench warmers at Valley Fair, so like I've been in ensembles before, but I've never really been forced to like work on a whole album with just like one other person.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways it was like being in a band, but it was also so much different because instead of like bouncing off of multiple heads, it's just like one other person.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that can be nice.
And neither of us are stuck in any particular role, like roughly maybe a little bit, but like not. Like one of us is the guitarist and one of us is the pianist and whatever.
It's like maybe even a more open collaboration, and that,
Yeah.
you know, you can just be like, get out of the chair. I got work to do on those drums, dude.
Actually,
Yeah. yeah, it would be like that sometimes. So, yeah, I'm just happy that
That's cool.
that it worked out this way, and I don't want this to be the last time we do stuff together, but also just like I think it's given me some confidence to actually like collab with more people because I haven't really done much besides like just working with Jared or like some friends here and there on like a one song, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, I could see myself, you know, getting in the studio with some other people.
Yeah.
I think,
Like you're musically, emotionally, like so talented in a way that I like haven't seen in like anyone else. So being able to like help you share that has been so cool. Like it really feels like your heart is connected to your fingers when you play instruments, and like that there isn't a compromise of like trying to make it because people will like it. Like that's never ever like a problem. And that's like so rare, and just that like you're always like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and then you just like do the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. It's like crazy. So,
Yeah, and touching any instrument, when you can tell the difference between when I play piano I always do like simple, like repeatable things, and you do these like hit one note one time in like the second half of a song that's like 4 minutes long, and you'll remember that one note and you'll like savor it. And for me, I'm just like, oh yeah, that chorus line is like sick that we heard like 20 times. So yeah,
Sure.
that's so cool that the way you interact with music. And me and Willis were talking about like, we've been talking about our careers and like what we want out of art and like what our journey is like. And then we keep coming back to it. Like Andrew had it pretty figured out the whole time. Like it's literally like all the things that you'll always say, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're like, I don't know how to play music. And we'll be like, I don't think that's true. And then we'll like further be reminded of how you're like actually just running with your soul and like doing the right thing. Like,
wow.
you're so good at saying no to things that aren't in line with where you're going, but in a polite way, and just like setting good boundaries, making sure that you don't get burnt out and you prioritize good experiences and like things that all I need to be reminded of and learn from, especially like right now.
It'd be like if we were all on a ship and Jared and I are doing like laps on the deck in opposite directions, and you're just like you're just enjoying the view, like
Yeah.
looking out.
Yeah.
casting, like reeling in some
Yeah, maybe
fish.
more like all of us are on a rowboat and I'm like sprinting and then I'm just gassed and then you're just like casually paddling, just enjoying, but like just like going maybe further than I am. I mean, Willis might deviate in our paths, but you're just like straight line, just like cooking.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
That's
So
It's
cool to
to hear
see.
that.
Well,
Wow.
and really cool to see the explorations into other styles and genres too. It's fun, like, keep messing with it and keep
Yeah.
having fun.
I will, yeah.
AP Rocks.
AP
Is this the debut of AP Rocks then?
Yeah,
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 100%.
for sure.
Welcome.
The name took almost no effort because Andrew made it when he was young.
Yeah, yeah. So it was like kind of going off of the gamer tag thing, you know. It was always my gamer tag for like Minecraft or just anything. So, and like I used to be called AP back in the middle school, high school days. I kind of miss it. Let's bring it back. You call me AP.
I'd probably AP
Yeah.
sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
We still got 2 more.
2 more. You boys got to take a bathroom break.
All right.
what you do?
Stuck in a rut.
Tell me the words.
I'm stuck in a rut. I'm screwing it up. Oh, for who or for what I've done. I'm stuck in a rut. Screwing it up. For who or for what I've done. I'm stuck in a rut, screwing it up. For who or for what I've Stuck in a rut. Help!
That was great. Whew. Stuck in a rut.
Well, you guys take care of that
Is,
one.
okay.
Oh, man.
Well, oh man.
That's one of those songs where I was like, I feel like this is the bones of this could be just a smash of a song. But then when I have that thought, I'm like, but actually the way we captured it captures it so well because like the tell me the words is, and then like just clunking through the chords, and then when you come into that that part
I don't
is
think
like
we could recapture that specific energy.
no,
like
and
that
I don't
same-
think you ever did it before that. You just like that was just a spur of the moment thing. And for some reason, like you singing that melody feels like you said the rest of the song. Like the first half is you like I'm stuck in a rut for who and what I've done is like oh so relatable, and then you do that melody and it feels like you just like told the rest of the story. And for whenever you do that, I hear that part of the song, it's just like I just feel like oh it just lines up with my soul. It's so good.
That is cool. What's neat about that is like, I mean, there's no words obviously, so I think if somebody has a specific little story they want to tell in there like that they have in their mind, they can relate it to that. But
Yeah.
because it's not really like a sing-along thing,
Yeah.
because it is a little complex.
Like it doesn't repeat.
It doesn't repeat
No.
at all.
But it's like
So.
the perfect
note, the perfect sequence of notes for that part.
Yeah, yeah. That is like one of those songs where I think where you have mentioned before you feel uncomfortable listening back to it.
Sure.
And I definitely get pretty uncomfortable listening to that one just
Sure.
because it's so. There's nothing like that out in the world.
Yeah.
Like me playing the guitar and singing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy it's out though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I, like listening to it, I understand like part of the value is that you are so vulnerable in that moment. Like I can hear that you're just like stuck in a rut.
Mhm.
You're just like, I need to like say this. I need to get this out. Like this is like just my soul vomiting, or
Mhm.
like whatever
For sure.
yeah.
that
would sound like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that idea sort of just came about that day, I feel like. Because I wrote some kind of similar, like, lyric ideas where it just with the idea of being stuck, And I guess I'm not the best with words, if you will, and, like, expressing how I can feel. And, like, especially when I get stuck. Like, I think that I was just, like, it just felt like in life I was stuck in a lot of ways. Like I didn't have a job like everyone else, or just like I felt a little like emotionless too, and just felt stuck in a lot of ways. So it was just me simply saying I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Maybe for what I've done, and maybe some of the people I associated with or whatever, like in the past, just that feeling of stuck, and would I feel different if, I didn't do those things or hang out with those people or whatever. So just a very raw way of getting that out.
I remember I had goosebumps when we were recording that, because like you can literally hear me being like, "What are the words, Andrew?"
Mm-hmm.
Like you just told them to me, say them again,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you like kind of come out of your shell and like sing them, and then you sing that melody I've never heard before. And I was recording, but like my phone glitched out, so the video didn't capture that moment. But it was such a like surreal moment to be a part of, because it was like, out of all the songs in the album, it was like that one felt like we were observing ourselves record a song. Like it was just like we weren't involved, but we were involved, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I found that, so we were able to like add it at the last second.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
It's a gem. It feels like maybe it speaks to the right, how some of the ideas come about, at least for you too, just in the way that they can sort of arise up out of an idea or something. And those repetitive elements, they can be sort of like a mantra or like a prayer or like a it's a projection, something you put out into the world. And, even just sometimes admitting it to yourself, saying it, something like that can help you process, can help you move forward move through things.
Mm-hmm.
So
For sure.
it feels like it comes with something special.
Yeah. I've had moments like since hearing that song where I like have felt that, and my immediate thought is like,
Stuck in a rut
Mm-hmm.
for who or for what I've done. Oh,
Like literally that just like gets me through the moment where I'm feeling that.
Wow.
And so yeah, that's been like super cool. Even though it feels like a little interlude thing, like it's so impactful. Like I think more is said than
could be said in like 5 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like short and sweet.
Yeah.
I've definitely had that coming to my head
It's so
too.
good. So
Mm-hmm.
good.
All right, let's go on to backwards.
Ooh.
the best days that I have are the ones I don't see you at all. The memories that are inside my head are better when you call. Even if you never want to love me with your all, I'll be here just waiting for an eternity to falling backwards. Don't know where my head is at. Wish that I was falling. Wish that I was falling for you backwards. Don't know where my head is at. Wish that I was falling. Wish that I was falling for you now. Tired of breaking hearts, kissing girls in the lobby. Rather hold your hand going up on the elevator. Tired of breaking hearts, kissing girls in the lobby. I'd rather hold your hand going up on the elevator. You're the only one that I would give this all up for. And I know that you'd respect me, even if that I was poor. Tell me that you love me and I'll run right out that door. Or tell me that you hate me and I'll find a roof to floor it backwards. Don't know where my head is at. Wish that I was floating. Don't wish I was falling for you backwards. Don't know where my head is at. Wish that I was floating. Don't wish I was falling for you now. You're the only one that I would give this all up for. And I know that you respect me, even if that I was poor. Tell me that you love me and I'll run right out that door. Or tell me that you hate me and I'll find a roof to floor it backwards. Don't know where your head's at. Wish that you were falling. Wish that you were falling for me backwards. Don't know where my head's at. Wish that you were falling. Wish that you were falling for me backwards. Don't know where my head's at. Wish that you were falling. Wish that you were falling for me now. You're the only one that I would give this all up for.
Wow.
Wow. It's such a like.
That one's
In there.
got a rhythmic and repetitive kind of like you can get behind it too. It's got
That was that's probably my favorite mixed song on the album. And when we first mixed it, it was so weird that I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And then we like didn't touch it until we put out the album, like months later. And I was like, this is amazing, because like the different guitars are panned like weirdly, and like the vocals kind of panned weirdly, and like we used the Helicon. So most of these songs we originally wrote with me singing into the TC Helicon pedal thing, but this was the only one where we're like, we have to have what my voice sounds like through that, because it had that hard tuning with like the telephone kind of sound, and it was like this song needed that so desperately because it like had so much of the vibe in it. So I'm so glad with how this one turned out.
Yeah.
It's like probably one of my like sleepers on the album that I'm like super stoked about.
It does have a cool balance of the sounds. It's got the cajon, it's got the guitar, the bass, and the guitar. Did you do the guitar, or did you do both?
I think
both
Andrew
those?
did.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's got the flavor.
Flavor.
The AP-ROCKS flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And,
all the instruments on that was Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one I for sure couldn't play by myself.
Yeah.
But we did play it live. We played it.
Yeah.
You would beatbox, or you would play like you did hip hop drums for different couple versions of it live,
Yeah,
and it was
first
so sick.
That's
That was cool,
wild.
too.
That's really wild.
That had some fun energy too.
Yeah.
yeah.
I do like the kind of more lighter, cajon vibe with like all the dribbly, like
Yeah.
doing that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, I think that one like really matched. That one the most matched what it originally was like. Out of all
sure.
the songs, I think that captured the original vibe almost 100%.
yeah, that and Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
First
were-
song and last song.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
Yep.
cool.
that is cool.
Play the little outro. One more time, please. One more time.
Part of me just really wants that to drop still.
That's what I wanted. It was like, it kind of like captured the whole album, like this violin that sounded so
Yeah.
acoustic, and then it sounds like processed, and then it sounds like it doesn't have resolution, and it's like kind of
Yeah.
fit. So it makes you like have to like come back and say hello.
You know what happened for me today? That was this. It, it plays at the end of the album, and then it played somebody else's music. It was like, but cut this shit out. Go back to Smilebro, dude.
That's so cool.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Because especially at that end, I was like ready for Smilebro drop again.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, that,
Oh,
that
man.
outro, like we were talking, that violin, I feel like chopping that up came from the chaos.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of the little things that we like, just embracing the chaos and just go deep into something, chop
Yeah.
it up, splice it up.
We we were gonna play the remix at the end.
Oh yeah.
Should I play?
Hello Galactic remix.
Yeah.
We could do Honeybee too if you want, but
Ooh.
we don't have to.
We could do all sorts of remixes.
Um,
All of them.
anyone here still watching have any questions? Feel free to throw them in the chat.
Thank you guys for vibing with us and hanging out.
Yeah.
Very self-indulgent experience for us, but we're so happy to celebrate all the time we put into this and like really put a final little flag in this experience in these last 3 years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Willis, for helping out with us and helping us share this experience. Definitely wouldn't be able to do this to the cool degree that it is
Thanks for the
without you.
invite. It's great to be here with y'all and celebrate this album. I'm excited to see it out into the world and be able to jam along with these tunes.
Heck yeah.
And excited for the song to start their second life out in the world. you
Sure.
know, have a chance to impact people.
I think there's a lot of potential in there.
Yeah, I think so too.
Excellent work, fellas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's play one of the. I kind of want to play. Here, we'll play the Honeybee remix, and then we'll play the VIP of the other one.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Wow. That was exactly what I was talking about with like just an art piece and moments. Like that whole song is just like an evolution of like some story that you like don't know what it is, but you know what it is. Like you can feel what it is. That's so cool. That first release into that like bouncy section is so impactful. It's just like it goes from this like super ambient thing to just like wanting to like run through a wall to like hug somebody. It's like
Aggressive hug.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So cool.
It's all about those little things, you know.
Let me try to find. Yeah, keep
Trying to find.
sharing
Oh,
if you.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like that was that song was almost me breaking free from like 120 BPM tempo, if that makes sense, because like so much of the stuff I've made is like I used to be like it was just like it was 120 or the highway, you know.
Yeah.
But recently I've been getting into stuff that's a little faster and like even slower, just like I don't know, not being so specific with my tempo.
Isn't there a
So-
tempo change in there or no?
Yeah, so right when it says like I'm living different ways, I'm moving at a different pace. So right there it goes from it starts to go
Oh
from one-
wow! You did it on the different pace too.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, I didn't even understand that. That's why it was called different pace.
Yeah, because it's two different paces
That's
within
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it goes from like
that kinda blew my
124.
mind there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Goes
That
one-
is special.
124 to 140 like in that like 20 seconds. It doesn't even feel like it speeds up that much, but I tried to like make it feel subtle. If that
I
makes
didn't
sense.
notice it, but I did notice there was a lot of moments that brought things in and out that made me like smile or felt like little sparkles.
Yeah.
And I also enjoyed how much of the song had been reduced to this kind of like small thing, and then it just like shined through in a couple areas. It was sort of fun.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks, boys.
Yeah.
Had fun with that. I'm happy that like 3 a.m. bender.
Oh my
happened.
god. Yeah. And then we spent like all day one day just like tweaking the mix to make it like perfect.
Yeah. Well, and you helped me with some of those like stuttering effects at the end too.
Yeah.
So, which I think really brought it together.
Yeah. It's such a cool.
Uh,
That's like just keep saying that, like that's what I love so much about your production is that you like let it be what it is. And sometimes I'll try to like force it into like this cookie cutter box. So it's so cool to hear it when it like really dives into like it really feels like a painting with sound or something.
That's cool.
Like that like we both were just like
Yeah, that little
that one thing that
like-
happens once.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
So beautiful. All right, this is the Hello Galactic Conversation Neon Reject VIP remix.
Yo, did you say VIP?
Dude, I love this so much. Like, I love that original remix. It feels like we made the art piece version of Hello Galactic, and then this version feels like the most excited I think I've ever been about a drop that I've been a part of and like made for this like second half of the drop. So oh my god, just
let them have it.
What's up, Sagar?
what
Sagar
up,
just tuned in.
Sagar?
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you.
tuning in.
Thank you.
I've got dust in the corner of my mind. We're playing hide and seek, but we're both hiding. Lay awake in the summer by a tree. When you look at the stars, do you see me? Hiding in the constellations, contemplating everything. This is a galactic conversation for an eternity. Unless you just say hello. Hello. This is a galactic conversation. Last year, just say hello. Say hello.
Woo!
Hello.
Oh, I just want to run through a wall. Coming, going.
And say hello. Give you a big hug.
Hello.
That's funny.
Oh my God.
E-Man loves it.
Woo! Dude,
that's
I
it.
love that so much.
Wow.
I want another drop. No.
Oh my God.
Where's the VIP?
Yeah. Oh my God.
You guys want something to eat?
Where did that come from?
Right
Oh,
there.
hey Rob.
Hi.
Are you guys hungry?
Almost.
Yeah, sure. Doesn't have to
What?
be a lot.
What are you making?
Oh. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This has not been the No Play podcast, but kind of similar vibe. Thanks for helping out, Willis. Thank you
Pleasure
so much
to be here.
for your help with this. This has been such a great experience. Thank you guys for taking the time to celebrate this.
Yeah,
Congrats.
happy 1 week and a half of the album.
Yeah.
Or week and 2 days. I
Go
think.
listen on Spotify, add it to your playlist, stream it everywhere. Tell a friend you think might like it.
Yeah.
Paradimes.
Paradimes.
P-A-I-R.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Paradigms.
You want to let them know?
Sure. Yeah. To roughly years ago. To make a short story long, I always thought Paradigms was a cute duo name because it's like two dimes, but it's also like this philosophical whatever. And me and Andrew kind of have that playful energy of like diving into like deep topics and like exploring how we feel and like how we perceive the world. But also we're like kind of cute, funny, like quirky guys. So that it really felt like a great time to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
So that's it.
That's it. Paradimes.
Paradimes. Stream it wherever you get your music.
Yep.
Wherever.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
too.
Of course.
Thanks for doing
Cheers,
all the
yo.
cool stuff. Yo,
Let's group hug. Group hug
Okay,
it out.
we're group
dude.
hugging.
We're group hugging.
Group hugging. Group hugging.
And if you were here, we'd hug you too. If that's not weird. If you're into that. If you're okay with that.
You don't need to turn off the stream.
You probably should. Love you guys. We all turned to laugh.
We did. That's awesome. Oh.
All right, let's turn this off.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.